We are live. Good afternoon. It is a little after 2 o'clock here on a lovely Tuesday. It is raining, and I have a guest speaker in the other room promoting Wilmington College. So I have spent since about after lunch today preparing what you're about to see. This is productivity at its finest. I am pleased to introduce to you the second annual Houses and Blouses basketball March Madness tournament pool. This year we're going to put a little bit different spin on things. Rather than filling out a bracket, you're actually going to be choosing a fleet of teams. Yes, you'll be choosing one team from each of the four regions. So you'll have one team from the Eastern, one team from the Midwest, one team from the South, and one team from the West. On purpose, I want you to see, you guys are going to make this more difficult than what it is. Some of you, I need to watch this video a few times, Jesse Downey, and then you're still not going to understand it, Jesse Downey. So what we're going to do is do the absolute best that we can, and should you have any questions, you can just fake your way through it, Jesse Downey, and you'll be just fine. As you can see here, nice little, there we go. Say like if you pick the number 1 seed in the West, whether you have to do it, but you have a 1, an 8, a 9, and a 16, that's going to equal 34. That could be one strategy. Odds are the number 1 seed is going to be a pretty good team. Then you might have 3 teams that are adequate at best, and the 16 seed has no chance to win. So you know that going in. But you did get a number 1 seed. Another way to do it is if you do something like this. If you notice you have a 5 seed, a 4 seed, a 12, and a 13. It still equals 34. So statistically, you have just as much a chance of winning to have one of those 4 teams be the national title winner. As you would if you had a 1 seed. Obviously, the 4 and the 5, they're probably, not the elite teams, but anybody can get hot in the tournament. So it's up to you to decide how you want to choose the teams, your fleet of 4 teams, okay? In the way that I have it structured is no one will get a repeat team. You'll have to read on to figure it out. If you read the email, and then obviously choose one of the 16 options. Only 16 people can play in the tournament this way. So the first 16 of you that want to sign up, you are in. Actually, there's 15 because I'm in. So there'll be 15 of you can go ahead and go and hop in there. Should be pretty fun. We're going to do $5 buy-in. So the winning fleet of teams, so one of us will be the winner of 60 shiny new dollars, and you're good on that. So whenever we get together, just you owe that person $5 is how that's going to work. Or you can write a check for $5 and send it to them, which no one is going to do that. A lot of people just fill out a random bracket and see what happens, and that's a lot of decisions to make. That's 63 individual games that you have to pick. 67 if you pick the 4 play-in games, which are idiotic. But that's a lot of games to pick, and a lot of times you're just guessing at that point. In this case, what we're doing is you're actually picking seeds, not the teams themselves. Once the brackets are released this Sunday, you'll have your 4 teams. So you might get a Duke, you might get a North Carolina, you might get a Northern Kentucky, you might get a Southwestern Louisiana State University Mud Dogs, like what Bobby Boucher was playing when he played football. So odds are, your small, seeds like, 11 on down really have no shot to win the title. But they have a shot to upset some other people. So you'll see a pretty interesting bracket. Ultimately, you want to pick a team that's going to win the national title. Odds are the national title winner usually comes from seeds 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you're going to get a shot. Everyone's going to get one shot. All 16 potential brackets or potential fleets of teams have at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 seeded team. I made it very fair. Should be pretty fun. And the big thing is we need 16 players. The actual brackets will be released this Sunday, and be looking for a second video or a second email from me telling everyone there are 4 teams and when everybody plays each other. You will never play another team in your fleet until assuming you would have 2 teams play each other in the Final Four or the national title game. If you pick 2 teams both those teams play in the national title, you're already guaranteed to win. If you have 2 teams play each other in the Final Four, then that's just really, really unlucky. I think that's about it for right now. Go ahead and now that you've watched this 5-minute video, you are somewhat prepared to click one of the 16 buttons below. So if you scroll down at this time, you should be able to make your selections. Please select a second or a third option. I don't think you'd ever get to a point where you would need to select past a third option, because it's going to be, first come, first serve here until all 16 spots are filled. So looking forward to this. We'll talk a lot more here in a couple days once we get 16 players. Happy picking. Until then, I am Mike Derringer, your commissioner, and that means you're not. Go Bucks. By the way, the Bucks are not going to make this tournament, so that stinks.